let's talk about the death of the fashion influencer. That was very dramatic to say. Fashion influencers have gone off the rails in terms of consumerism and promotion of consumerism, and I think we need to have a conversation around how to be an ethical fashion influencer, which I honestly don't think there is a way to be an ethical fashion influencer, but as somebody who creates content online, I want to talk about my perspective as a sustainable fashion content creator. We'll get into titles later of how I would categorize myself, but hi, if you're new here, my name's Lindsay. I talk a lot about fashion and thrifting content, so naturally I fall more into the sustainable slow fashion content creator stereotype, I guess. If you're into deep dives into fashion, trends, thrifting, don't forget to subscribe, and I post daily outfits on TikTok and Instagram, so go follow my socials and go shop my Depop. I have a lot of clothes that I have to post. But with that out of the way, I want to get right into this video talking about the death of the fashion influencer as we know them. Okay, so I wanted to start off with the definition of fashion and a definition of influencer to kind of start us off at ground level before we start talking in depth about what I mean by the death of the fashion influencer. So fashion by definition means a popular trend, especially in styles of dress and ornament or manners of behavior, which I think is interesting because I think fashion really is obviously like an industry, an area of study, and I think fashion is, as an industry and as a societal movement, is political. And I think understanding that fashion is political, fashion will always be political, really ties into this conversation of consumerism. Styling and ornament is also a very important distinction because the lengths of categories that have evolved of accessories and accessorizing have just promoted consumerism and accelerated consumerism at a rate that we have not seen ever. So I think that is also a very important part, rather than just clothes, but also accessorizing and niche consumer trends. And also consumerism can be trendy. Buying things just to buy them is a trend. So an influencer, by definition, in terms of marketing, is a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending this item on social media. This is very interesting because influencers, when it says promoting or recommending, I think those are two different things, and I think we have steered too far down the path of promotion and nothing feels authentic anymore, and I think that's where the death of the fashion influencer comes in. Instead of just recommending items that you actually like as an influencer, so many influencers just can link everything they own and they will make money off of that. And that is not genuine love for items. That is a business, and influencing is a business, and people only care to own things that they can make money off of. That is the important distinction with influencers today. They will only own things that they know their audience will buy, rather than genuinely enjoying items and genuinely caring what their audiences are spending their hard-earned money on, and that they'll actually get benefits out of the products they are promoting. So this comes into our talk about the rise of the shopping influencer, and I don't know who coined this term. I have to do more research on it, but this is just such an important thing to understand, is the difference between fashion influencers or like beauty influencers and blah 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 and shopping influencers. There's so many talented makeup artists and beauty influencers, and I feel like that side of TikTok I'm not so on, but I feel like that's more ethical because people genuinely have fun putting together makeup looks, and that comes with talent, inspiration, and entertainment. Whereas fashion is kind of the whole concept of personal style. People don't really know how to define personal style because there is barely anyone who has a big following that can really say they have personal style, because clothing is such a large industry that it's so easy, and there's so many fast fashion brands. It's just an easy way for influencers to make money is off clothes because it's such a big industry and it's a day-to-day thing you need. You can incorporate into more lifestyle content. So shopping influencers, let me give you some key descriptors. They probably have an Amazon storefront. They have no sense of personal style because they only wear clothes that they are sent to in PR or clothes that they're being paid to promote. And genuinely anyone would love to get free clothes. I mean, obviously I would love free clothes that I actually like and that I actually want, because that genuinely will take up space in your closet, and I don't want that. But some people will take anything that is given to them for free, and that is harmful because they'll get it for free and then they'll wear it and they'll link it in their like-to-know, and then their less fortunate followers will go and purchase that same same item because they thought their favorite influencer actually liked the item and wore it more than once. I guarantee you shopping influencers don't wear things more than once, because that goes into another characteristic of shopping influencers, is that they only post hauls. You'll see a new haul every day, a new haul every week. And even if it's not like a haul video, if they're constantly wearing new items that you've never seen before, consider them a shopping influencer. If they're constantly saying, oh my gosh, this new item, or what's new in at Zara, what's new in at Brandy Melville, if they're promoting that kind of content, that is a shopping influencer, because it's influencing people to shop. If you're influencing people to shop, that is not being an ethical influencer, and that's not being authentic for your audience. If you understand now what a shopping influencer is somebody who promotes consumerism, and that is their main, because that's how they make money. They make money off you spending your money, and that's an important distinction. But on the other hand, there's fashion content creators, I want to call them, because I think influencer and content creator are clear distinctions. So a fashion content creator, the characteristics of a fashion content creator, I would say this is what the internet claims is a fashion content creator. They produce relevant and compelling content that resonates with their brand's target audience, so their personal brand's target audience. My definition, my characteristics of a fashion content creator is they have a sense of personal style, and I think it's so clear to see when somebody actually has personal style, because they either thrift, they either talk about consumerism, they either say this has been on my wish list for this amount of time, and they actually think about their purchases. And that goes into my characteristic that fashion content creators encourage critical thinking and shopping habits. They don't just say go buy this because you need it, it's on trend, or they don't ask what are we wearing in spring 2025, what's the shoe of this summer. They have critical thinking skills, and they will not only set trends but just understand themselves well enough that they don't listen to anyone else's opinion, because they have a sense of style and they have a sense and an idea of what they like and what they don't like, and they can comfortably explicitly say what they don't like and what they do like. And I think that is very important, because shopping influencers don't have opinions. They just are a vehicle of promotion for companies. They don't have opinions. Fashion content creators have critical thinking skills, which allows them to have opinions, and they care about fashion. And I think another characteristic, kind of going off of what I was just saying about having critical thinking skills as a fashion content creator, you know what you like and what you don't like, and you do research on the industry, you understand trends, you understand the trend cycle, and you have a cultural awareness for the fashion industry, which I think a lot of shopping influencers don't have, because generally need to have an understanding of trends and popular fashion houses and what is a fast fashion brand versus what is more sustainable, what is greenwashing, like just to understand this lingo in the industry so you can point out the red flags and not encourage unethical shopping habits for your audience, I think is so important. As somebody who shares their opinions and thoughts online, you always have to come with that critical thinking skill and to have that education on the fashion industry and the harm of the fashion industry, and be really selective in the products you promote is key to being a ethical content creator, fashion content creator. So for example, I barely buy anything new. I know I'm a smaller creator. That's okay with me. I will talk to anyone who will listen. Also, being a smaller creator, I haven't had to make those hard decisions of what brands am I going to work with, because this is my full-time job and I have to make money, and there's only these amount of brand deals that I can do, and I haven't had that problem of financial stability in my decision making of what brands I promote online, which is I guess a privilege as a smaller creator, because you kind of are just doing this for fun. It's not your full-time job. So I have compassion for creators who have to carefully select who they work with, or who care to actually carefully select who they work with to not tarnish their name or tarnish their personal brand if they claim themselves a sustainable influencer. That's also the difference between a shopping influencer and a fashion content creator. Because if a fashion content creator is working with Cezanne, their narrative around working with Cezanne is they're sustainable, they're somewhat affordable, they're natural fibers. But if a shopping influencer works with Cezanne, they're just gonna say, this is my favorite new on-trend sweater, go buy it now. Like, do you see the difference in how somebody will promote go buy it now versus here I use my critical thinking skills and understand and my education about fashion to make this ethical choice to work with this brand, and these are the products I actually like, versus just go, here's the code, go buy it. Then another clear distinction between a fashion content creator and a shopping influencer, their main purpose of their content is to inspire, not influence, and that is also a very clear distinction. Is influencers influence. They will influence you to shop. Fashion content creators genuinely enjoy fashion, genuinely enjoy styling pieces. Their main goal with their content is to inspire others to have fun with fashion, to style items uniquely, to explore your style rather than exploring your style through only shopping, and not encouraging critical thinking and not encouraging you to go out and have your own opinion around fashion items that you like or don't like. They're not telling you what's cool, they're telling you to decide what you think is cool and giving you inspirational content that you can take as inspiration, not to replicate, but to further work on your own personal style and, I don't know, just encourage fun around fashion rather than a serious, using that naiveness of people on TikTok who come across one video harping on those naive viewers that they need this one item and that's the only thing that will make them cool. I think fashion content creators do a great job at inspiring others, saying, this is my style, like it or hate it, take what you want and leave what you don't want, and they're okay with that. They don't expect you to treat you like you have the best opinion in the world. They may aspire to have your style and aspire to be confident in your style, but I think fashion content creators just have that awareness of, I'm gonna do me, I know who I am, I know what my style is, and you can like it or not. And I really truly aspire to be one of those fashion content creators who's just confident in their style and understands their style and inspire others to style items in ways they may not have thought of, or just to have fun with fashion. I think in overall, fashion content creators have fun with fashion rather than influencers who just will wear whatever they're sent. So then I'm gonna go into my ideal characteristics of a fashion content creator and what you should be looking out for who you're following in today's day and age, and who to unfollow after you watch this video. I'm not gonna name names because people have their own businesses, people have their own financial situations that people need to make money off of however they're gonna make money. I'm not gonna name names, but my ideal characteristics for a fashion content creator is they primarily thrift. I think thrifting is not just a type of shopping, it's a skill. Thrifting is a skill you have to develop. It is not for the faint of heart. And I see so many videos of people who are new to thrifting saying, is this what thrifting is like? Once you start thrifting, you literally cannot stop thinking about thrifting and what's waiting for you at the thrift store. I'm telling you, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And I think try to follow people that thrift, try and follow people whose style you like and see, oh, they thrifted those clothes. That's pretty cool. Let me go to the thrift store and try and find similar items and just exercise that muscle of understanding what you genuinely like in fashion items and clothing. It is a muscle you need to exercise, is understanding your style. And if you don't care to understand your style, I don't know why you'd be watching this video, but if you care to consume inspirational and educational content online, you need to just find people that have a unique point of view that will take you through their thrifting journeys and exercise critical thinking when shopping, which is also a key part of shopping in any sense, especially when thrifting. That's another level to thrifting, is not just thrifting and buying anything that you like, that you see. It's being critical about what you are critically thinking about, what you're bringing into your wardrobe, and not buying everything just because it's cute and on trend. Okay, another ideal characteristic for a fashion content creator is they don't only wear trends, but I also think I like a fashion content creator who talks about trends and who incorporates trends into their personal style. I think there's a key difference between shopping influencers who will only wear what's on trend because that's all they know, versus people who look at trends and don't feel the pressure to participate in every single trend that there is. They'll be selective about the trends they participate in, but still have fun with trends and micro trends, because trends don't have to be scary. I think trends are fun. I think it's fun to see things come back in style, but it's how you take those items and incorporate them into your current wardrobe rather than buying a whole new wardrobe every season based off the trends of the season. And as I said, encouraging critical thinking when shopping, because this is so important. I think we've gone to a point, as I said, where shopping influencers, or not even fashion influencers who have opinions, they don't have opinions. They just shop and share that and they make money off of you. That is like a whole other level. That's why I think we were seeing this rise of underconsumption core and understanding and really critically thinking what we're buying, even with skincare. you genuinely don't need anything from Rhode, but you'll buy it because it's on trend. I felt pressured to buy things from Rhode because they look cute, everyone talks great things about them, but that doesn't mean you genuinely need an item. I really enjoy people who do no buys and actually show you their mistakes and own up to their past shopping addictions, share their journeys. I think that is the rise of a true fashion content creator, because they understand the industry, they've been on the other side and come back to reality pretty much and critically think when they shop. The ideal fashion content creator would call out brands who are unethical. I think what really pains me is influencers who seem so genuine and so kind and maybe call out political things, but then they'll like say, here's what's new at Brandy Melville, and it just kind of contradicts. I thought we were being progressive, but by saying what's new in at Brandy Melville, we're promoting a brand that's racist, we're promoting a brand who's owned by people that are just so awful, who have profited off of teenage girls in 2014 and just have weird management style, are literally one size fits all. And I know not everyone can be perfect, but I think just critically think, okay, I'm going to the store. Are they fast fashion? Yes. Are they size inclusive? No. Have they ever been called out really badly in the media? Yes. Don't promote them in any sense, please. Like, that is the critical thinking I look for in influencers who claim to be fashion influencers and who have personal style, is don't go and stoop to the level of fast fashion companies, even if it's a popular brand, even if something's on trend and you want to promote that to your followers to show that you care about fashion and you're on trend and you're trendy and you're in the know. It's not worth the effects of promoting brands that are just so awful. So please just critically think about who you're supporting and call out brands that are harmful in various ways. And if you are unsure of who's harmful in various ways, Google is free. And my last one is that I look for in fashion influencers is that they're selective in who they partner with. And this is the ultimate way for me to get to know they're selective in who they partner with, because this also allows me to be exposed to more sustainable brands. Because if a fashion influencer chooses to partner with Everlane over H&M, I maybe have never heard of Everlane, and that will bring me up to speed with brands that maybe are a better alternative to our favorite fast fashion retailers. And I think just influencers who can find those partnerships that really connect with their audience and really make a difference in standing up against fast fashion influencers by promoting brands that maybe are less popular and maybe taking a pay cut of like a few $100. I don't know how much brands are paying people. I'm sure fast fashion brands have a big budget. I really admire fast fashion or fashion and content creators who partner with smaller brands, sustainable brands that maybe I've never heard of, because that makes me more educated on brand alternatives that I can shop versus fast fashion brands. And even like ThredUp is a great brand that I love to see people partner with, because it's such an easy way to shop secondhand, or partnering with just anyone who's not fast fashion. And also just like services like Rent the Runway that encourage different shopping habits and just contradict the typical, okay, what's new in at Princess Polly kind of content. Like, if we can really just find people or partner with these more niche companies that are doing amazing things, because I think that's the ultimate way for these companies to get exposure is through influencers, because we know how influential influencers can be in our everyday lives. And I think I just really admire influencers who take the time to partner with smaller companies that offer services or offer sustainable clothing, because that makes me more in the know of these services and clothing. And it's just so important that we influencers are conscious of who they are partnering with. Okay, that is my spiel about fashion influencers. I hope it was a comprehensive conversation of what is a shopping influencer versus a fashion content creator. I like to claim that I would say I'm a fashion content creator who really cares about the environment. I've studied fashion, I went to fashion school, I work in fashion, and I really try to promote sustainable shopping habits, slow fashion, thrifting, and really criticize my own shopping habits and really just try to be real about the realities of loving fashion, but how to ethically participate in the industry that is so damaging to our environment and in other ways. If you like this video, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And go follow my TikTok, because I show you how to style thrifted items, because 99% of my closet is thrifted. This is thrifted, this is thrifted, these are Ana Luisa, but I'm telling you 99% of my closet is thrifted. So if you love thrifting and fashion content, don't forget to subscribe, follow my TikTok and my Instagram, go shop my Depop, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.